Hi everyone, this is Howlak again, and welcome to another Java tutorial session. In today's tutorial, I will be continuing from my last code example. So as you see in front of me, this is where I left off. I had a text box up here to display um, the events that's being captured and handled by the various listeners, and I have here um, radio buttons, check boxes, and a combo box here. Okay, so um, in this tutorial, I will be showing JList. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to drag a JList on here. Okay. And no, before I do that, what I need to do is actually JList usually exists inside of a JScroll pane. So, okay. Because usually lists would be a little bit longer, and if it gets a little longer, you would give it the ability to scroll. Okay, so and then now I can drag a JList on here. Okay, let's just name this. I'm gonna demonstrate a little bit further multi-select afterwards, so I'm gonna prepare myself for this first. So scroll pane. Okay, so original. All right, so I just like to name my list first. And then what I'm going to do is name this list transform the list. Okay, transform the list. Okay, so I'm going to be adding transformers names into my list. And this is the same thing as earlier. Okay, so I go down and look for model. Okay, how about Optimus Prime? Okay. Leader of the Autobot. So Rodimus Prime, who replaces Optimus Prime, for those who've actually watched Transformers way back in the days. Grimlock. Yeah. How about another Autobot Sideswipe? And now for Decepticon Megatron. Galvatron, of course, replaces Megatron. Soundwave. This Megatron's henchman here. Starscream. And how about Shockwave? Alright, so there's my list. Okay, I'm going to need this list the same way that I did with the combo box, so I'll just copy that first. Okay, so there's my list. Alright, so we preview it. Okay, so we get our list. Okay, it does nothing right now. Okay, and so I can multi-select, but of course it doesn't do anything right now. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, well, I'm going to require the list anyways to be displayed, so why don't I just put that in first. So private static, just like what I did up here. String, so let's call it transformers. Alright, so don't forget the semicolon there. Okay, so I'm going to copy it in. Of course, it's going to give me a bunch of errors because these all have to be strings. I shouldn't have made too many. Oh well. With transformers, I tend to get a little out of mind. Get too excited. So here, copy. So I need to separate these. Okay. Oops, that's not right. And the last one, of course, we just need the double quote. Okay, so we have that in place. Okay, let's get rid of this. So get more space here. So now, okay, let's go and add this the handler for it. Okay, so the listener. Okay, and for a list, this is the name for it, list selection listener. Okay, so that's what we'll be adding to this list. Okay. right? And it has a value changed method in there. Right? So there we go. Okay, so let's do some work with this. Okay, so far what we have is that we have by default it will be single select. Okay, now it's going to be something. I'm going to set the text. Okay, so transformers. Okay, and of course that'll be this is the text that will be displayed. You recall I just created the array of strings above. Okay, and now we want to actually display based on what we selected, and it's pretty much the same thing that we have above with the combo list. If you recall, I'm looking for get select selected index, and there's the first one. Okay, so that because that will give us what did I just do there? Okay, so that'll give us it'll get the selected index and put it in, of course, index it into the string of arrays of transformers that we have, and then it'll just display the output. Okay, so let's try running that. Let's run this. Okay. Alright, so that's all we have. Let's bring this into the middle. Bottom is prime, bottom is prime, side swipe. Okay, so we have that. And of course we have all these. Let's do it from the previous tutorial. Okay. Alright, so let's close that. Okay. Let's close that first. Now what I want to do is actually allow for a multi-select, and to show that what I'll need is I'll need a button. Okay, because what I want to do is multi-select and then copy it to another list, so I'll be doing that. This little J button. Okay, let's see if I can do this. All right, and then now another J list. Let me squeeze it in there. So I can do that. Okay, there. Okay. Whoops. I did it again, didn't I? I forgot. I don't want that. What I want is a scroll. J scroll pane. Where's J scroll pane? I tend to forget that one. Where's my J scroll pane? J scroll. Scroll bar. Oh, I can't seem to find it. Oh, it's all the way up here. I apologize. I think I wasted some time there. Alright. Oh, that's the checkbox. Oh my god. Undo. Oh, this is. Come on. There it is. You get that? There it is. Finally. Alright, so, and then now I'm going to put the list in here. Okay. So, first off, I'm going to rename this list. Let's rename the fields. So, I'm going to do copied list. Okay. Alright. And this is copy. Scroll. I just like to adopt this convention when I do that. Now with the button, okay, so the button, the copy button, okay. Copy button, and then let's rename the text. Okay, where is it? Down here. Copy transformers. Okay. So there. So that's what we have. Okay. Now we go back in here. To enable multi-select, we actually have to put in some code. Okay, so and the code is we go back to our transformer list to allow multi-select and say set select selection. Excuse me, going off. Let me shut that off there. And then list selection model. Okay, so that's fairly self-explanatory. And multiple interval selection. That's what we want. Okay, so that's what we want. All right. Now that we have that in place, what I want to do is go back down here. Right, we're going to generate some for the button, because for the button we need to be able to say that, well, we multi-select. We are going to require it to be copied to the list. Okay, so our list. All right, so create listener, right, and it is an action listener for a button from our previous tutorial. Okay. Now in the text output field, I'm just going to say, just to make sure that we indicate that it's been selected. So let's just say backslash, okay, to escape the double quote, and copy transformers, transformer pressed. Okay, so that's just to display it up there. Now in the next one, okay, in the next one, what we want to do is we want to copy the items over to the copied list. Okay, so we're going to do set. Now the method to do this is set list data. Okay, all right. So let's set list data, and what we want to do is we're going to get the data from the transformer list. Okay, and get selected value list. That's the other one. So it's the first one. Okay, and now we got to do something. If we actually get the selected list, we actually need to change this into an array. Okay, so there's array, and then in this array, this is actually an overloaded method, and what this takes is that it takes an array, okay, which if there's an existing array of the right size, it'll put it in there, so you can actually create an empty array and just pass in the name. However, if we don't have that, we can actually ask Java to create it, the compiler to create it during runtime. Okay, and this is basically just a pointer to a runtime array that the compiler will create. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so let's try it out. Okay, so let's try this out. It's not that pretty or nice, but it's okay. And there it is. It works. So we do that. We can have we have single select if we want to select. There we go. Okay. So in this tutorial, I've shown how to use a JList and how to use the handler for it. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.